Okay, perfect. This is the mock functional assessment interview for SPCE 610, Section 803, Summer Semester 2024. My name is Alexis Alvarez. I'll be conducting the mock functional assessment interview. My guest will be acting as the client's mother in this scenario. To prepare for this FAI, I reviewed the video titled Compassionate Interviewing, in which topics such as a records review, IEP requests, and diagnostic information were covered, in addition to strategies to build rapport with client parents and DEI considerations. To prepare my guest, I sent her the FAI document so that she's aware of the questions that I will ask her, and I gave her information about our mock client. As mentioned before the interview, it is important to collect as much information about the client as possible. A records review was conducted, in this case for relevant medical reports. This client is named Molly Cook. She is a 4-year-old female diagnosed with level 3 autism. From observation, her most severe deficits are that she displays self-injurious behavior, has low play skills, and has low expressive communication. Molly lives with her biological parents, Mary and John Cook, who are each 30 years old and are married to each other. Molly is an only child. She and her parents are white Caucasians, are middle income, and live in a suburban area with little crime. Molly does not attend preschool, other therapies, or activities, but spends 40 hours a week at an ABA therapy clinic. In addition to all of this information, Molly's parents and her RBT Sally collected ABC data between May 30th and June 2nd with her self-injurious behavior as the target behavior of observation, and all were great candidates for the interview. However, for this interview, it will be conducted with Molly's mother, Mary Cook. So let's begin. Hello, Mary. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Well, first, I want to thank you for meeting with me, and I wanted to explain a little bit more about what we'll be discussing today, just in case you have any questions.
Okay.
What we'll be doing today is called a functional assessment interview. That's just a fancy name for basically a conversation we'll have about your child's developmental history, her current level of functioning, behavior concerns, and areas that she has strengths and struggles. I'm going to ask you about 22 questions about Molly, and I want you to answer freely and to the best of your ability. It's not a test. There's no wrong answers. I just want to know Molly a little bit more from your perspective. Is that okay?
Yep.
Great. If you see me writing, I'm just taking some notes on our conversation, and you're more than welcome to have access to these after a meeting for your own records. So the first part of the interview form is just some basic information like today's date. And Molly's name, Molly Cook. You are Molly's mother. The interview is myself. And I have Molly's date of birth as March 19th, 2020, and her age is 4 years old, and she is female. So the next question I'll ask you is, can you pick one of these options when it comes to her language abilities? The options are nonverbal, one-word utterances, short disfluent sentences, or full fluency.
I would say mostly one word like utterances.
Sure. Can you explain a little bit more about that? What kinds of words does she say?
She says things like bubbles when they're in the room. Other times she'll talk about, some of the food she likes. So she'll just say like chicken for chicken nuggets.
Awesome. Great. The next question is if she attends other schools or therapies, which I have us know, but she does attend an ABA clinic 40 hours a week. So I'll put that. And the next question I have for you is to describe her play skills and prefer toys, leisure activities. What does she like to do for fun?
I've noticed that most of the things that Molly likes to do is kind of look at things with lights in them and songs. But other than that, she doesn't really play with things. She'll look at things that spin and try to do that. But other than that, she doesn't really, put any, she doesn't do puzzles or anything like that. So more so looking at toys than playing with them.
Yeah. Okay. And then aside from toys, are there other things she prefers? I know you said she likes to talk about her food sometimes. Does she like to read?
She'll look at pictures every once in a while in books, cartoon pictures, obviously.
Yes. My lights turned off.
Oh no.
Okay. That's great. Okay, so she likes food and pictures. Great. The next question I have is your child taking any medication for any behavior? Does she have ADHD? Does she take sleeping medication, anything like that?
Nope, not right
Great.
now.
Sounds good. That matches the information that I have from her medical records as well. So that's great. And then let's see. So next we'll move on to the step 2 section of this interview. It's going to ask about some problem behaviors that Molly might have. So the options we have are aggression, disruption, self-injurious behavior, things like hitting herself or scratching herself, or other problem behaviors.
I think the self-injurious behavior would be the main concern I would have for Molly. She will sometimes hit her head, mostly with her hands. Sometimes she'll punch herself. Sometimes she'll smack herself with an open palm. But she also, when she gets upset, she'll scream sometimes.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Good to know. That will definitely be an area that we want to help her with, just so that she stays safe. So would you say that this is the most concerning problem behavior that you'd like her to work on?
Yes,
Okay,
definitely.
great. The next section, they all kind of fit together. What are the top 3 most concerning problem behaviors? So obviously we have the self-injurious behavior, hitting herself, and then the screaming. Is that always with her hitting, or does she sometimes scream to let you know she needs something?
I've noticed it's mostly screaming when she's upset.
Okay.
It's not always with the hitting,
Okay.
and something, but just it's usually when she's upset.
Great. Okay. Next, again, it kind of fits with the prior questions. It says to describe the intensity of the problem behaviors. So your options are low intensity, moderate intensity, high intensity.
I would say moderate intensity.
Okay. When she does hit herself, does she leave marks that we need to be aware of?
She has before,
Okay.
not often though.
Okay. So the next question, it asks, do the different types of problem behavior, so her self-interest behavior and her screaming, do they occur in bursts or clusters? For example, we just talked about her screaming doesn't always accompany um, her hitting herself. But let's see. Screaming doesn't always equal hitting. Um, let's see. But okay, so I just want to clarify. She sometimes screams when she's upset. Um, does she have any tantrum behavior like falling to the floor or hitting others?
No.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So the next part of the interview is to try to determine what is happening right before Molly is hitting herself or screaming. So under what conditions or situations are those behaviors most likely to occur? So I know you said when she's upset, but what things does she get upset about?
It's sometimes when I tell her to do something or ask her to do something, that's the times that I've noticed a lot of it happening.
Okay. Good to know. Um, and then do those behaviors, could you pretty much guarantee that they occur during particular activities? So I know you said that when you tell her to do something, is it mostly, chores or self-help, self-care, brushing her teeth, getting ready for bed?
It's definitely during those more like self-help things, getting dressed sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, potty training has been hard
Okay.
too.
Yeah, of course. Um, the next question just asks what seems to trigger the problem behavior. So can we agree that following those instructions to do those tasks are what trigger the behavior?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. Oh, this is a great question. Um, do you see any of the problem behavior when you and Molly break your routines? So, an example would be if you always go to the store when you get in the car, but this time you did not go to the store, would she get upset? Things like that.
Yes, definitely. I would say she does. Or if we take a route to a certain place
Mhm.
or take a certain route that she usually goes to, like, get to, to the
Mhm.
clinic. If we take a different route, she will get upset.
Right. Okay. So she sometimes struggles with change. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Great. Next, the question is, does the problem behavior occur when it appears that she won't get her way? So I would say maybe a little, right?
Yes,
Uh, so
definitely.
if she wants to not brush her teeth before bed, but she doesn't get her way, could you reliably see that problem behavior occurring?
Yes, I usually know it's coming.
Right. Okay. The next section, we're going to talk a little bit about what happens after her problem behavior. So when Molly does engage in her self-injurious behavior or screaming, how do you or others respond to that?
We usually try to help her calm down
Okay.
first. So, like, give her hugs. We'll pause what we're doing or stop what we're doing, depending on how intense it gets.
Okay, yeah. Okay. That actually leads us into our next questions, or what you do to calm her. So hugging, kind of pausing, taking a little break from that demand or what you told her to do.
Definitely, yes.
Okay. So along with those calming strategies that you do with Molly, do you try to distract her from engaging in the problem behavior?
Yeah, sometimes I try to with like a kids video or music or singing.
Okay. So we are on to our final question. We are going to next talk about, what do you think she's trying to tell you when she's screaming or hitting herself?
I genuinely think she's trying to tell me no and that she does not like whatever it is that we're doing. Um, yeah, or that she wants something else to change or she wants her routine.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So this next question, I'm going to explain a little bit about what it means. The question is, do you think this problem behavior is a form of self-stimulation? And so what that question is getting at is sometimes children, they actually hit themselves not to communicate anything, but really because they like that pressure or the feeling of the hit or the scratch. Do you think that Molly's behavior is that for her? Is that stimulation for her?
I would say 99% of the time, no.
Okay.
I think it's kind of what we talked about just before this.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Okay. And the last question, it does kind of feel like a repeat. So it says, why do you think she's engaging in the problem behavior? We discussed, she might not know how to communicate what she needs.
Yeah.
And that's honestly one of the biggest barriers we see with children with low communication skills is there's no other way to tell you what I need to tell you. So here's what I can do. So that's definitely going to be an area that we're going to focus on in her therapy is learning how to communicate in a safer way for sure.
That would be great.
Yes. So next. Well, all of the information that you provided is going to be so helpful in understanding Molly better and creating strategies that we can implement together to help her through her behaviors and to increase her play skills and to increase her communication. Do you have any questions or anything else that you want to discuss?
No, not really. Not off the top of my head.
Great. Well, I want to thank you so much for meeting with me. And if you have any questions come up, please reach out to me. I will send you my email and my phone number just so you have my contact. But again, thank you so much. I hope you have a great night.
Thank you. You too.